I'm Heather.
I'm Nate.
And this is Lacey.
We're going to the LA Times Festival of Books.
And one of the many authors speaking today is Meghan Trainor. It was actually really cool to hear her story.
So we thought we'd share a little bit of the conversation with you.
And I'm just a huge fan. She's so awesome.
I want to welcome you to the 28th Annual Los Angeles Times Festival of Books. This is the Los Angeles Times main stage. My name is Stuart K. Robinson. I will be your host all weekend. So you know about our next guest. Our next guest is a Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter. She was signed to her first music publishing deal at the age of 18, and she has rocked the charts ever since with hits like All About That Bass and Made You Look. You've also seen her starring on television in The Four, Battle for Stardom, The Voice UK, and Clash of the Cover Bands, and she hosts the podcast Working on It with her own brother. So she's here with her first book. It is titled Dear Future Mama, a TMI guide to pregnancy, birth, and new motherhood from your bestie. And she's going to be interviewed by some LA Times brass. They have brought out Times assisting managing editor for culture and talent, Angel Jennings. So let's get some big applause going for Angel Jennings in conversation with Meghan Trainor.
Hello, how are you, everybody? I have prepared a intro because she won a Grammy, and now she's an author. But the title that she holds most dear to her heart, much like me, is Mama. Thank you so much, and welcome to the LA Times Festival of Book stage. Oh my God, it's such a pleasure to be here with you. And thank you for being brave and bearing your soul in this book. Honestly, but what was the WTF moment where you were like, I gotta write this book now?
Probably when I had gestational diabetes, when I was diagnosed with that. Pew, 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 look at us! and I did so much research, and there was nothing online. And my first thought was, I love it. My first thought was we need to make an app. We need to help you with your gestational diabetes. And I was still lost, and I was accidentally giving myself the keto flu, and I felt horrible. And I was like, there's just not enough answers for us out there. And then later on with a breech baby and a C-section and all this crazy stuff that wasn't a fairy tale way of giving birth, I was like, I gotta tell someone about this.
Queen. Been there, done that. I had the fingerprint husband that was there.
That's all I needed was my Daryl. Daryl, there you are. Ew, look at him, he's cute. Yeah, he was everything. He was my midwife, my doula, my doctor, my therapist, my masseuse. He was great to me.
To me, it seemed like he was destined to write this book. That opening scene, you as a 7th grader, helping to deliver a baby.
Yes.
Walk me through that.
I was 12 years old, and I visited my aunt while she was giving birth to my cousin. And I was obsessed. They forgot I was in the room, to be frank. And then the contractions started, and I was like, and they were like, wait, Megan's still here. And then they gave me a speech can you mature really fast? You're gonna see everything. And I was like, I can do it. And then I was on her other leg with my mom, and I was like, 10, 9. And I cut the cord and everything, and I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. But that didn't work out.
You are a doctor. You are soothing our souls with them songs, and now you're giving us vital information.
So getting the song back together again. What was the point of this story?
Just talking about.
Oh, yes. So he came out with respiratory distress, which happens. They told me after, this is common with C-section, it's traumatic for the baby too. And I was like, if it's so common, why didn't I know about it? And the NICU nurses looked right at me and were like, oh, were you on antidepressants? And I was like, yes, but they were safe and approved for everyone. And they were told me it's fine. I need to speak up about this and make others feel less alone because this sucked. And I want to put this all in my book.
And it's so important to unpack those moments for yourself and process.
And when I would come home and you blame yourself. All the mom guilt started day one. I was like, well, it's my fault. I should have got off. And then but I never had depression in my entire pregnancy. I never had postpartum depression. But I did at nighttime when the pain would kick in. I would be like, I'm still on that table, I'm still there, and I would cry myself to sleep just because that was so scary for me. I've never had to go on round two again. It's gonna be great. know? So that's why I was like, oh, I want to talk about this one and make sure someone else who has that doesn't feel so alone.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there are all these common things that come along with pregnancy and delivery that we just do not talk about.
There's a lot of stuff they don't know still too, because I was like, he was just sleepy. Like my kid was perfectly healthy and fine, he was just sleeping. And I was like, well, when's he gonna wake up? And they're like, it's up to Riley. And I was like, they can't just like tickle him, you know, like get him up. And they're like, no, and it took like 5 days, and then we all went home together.
Well, thank you for sharing that story. And for those who don't know, Meghan is expecting her second child.
She's around too.
How are you feeling, and how is
I
pregnancy
feel
different?
much better now. Well, like in the first pregnancy, I gained my 15 COVID, you know. So I went in at my heaviest in that pregnancy, and I just felt like miserable and bigger than ever, and stretching, and the stretch marks came and took over. And then this pregnancy, I had my dietitian after that, so I had such a better relationship with food and with working out that I started, I don't know if this makes sense, but I was like 185 pounds when I got pregnant with Riley, and on this pregnancy I was 155 pounds when I got pregnant with this one. So, and because I'm eating so much better, I guess, and I changed the science of my body, I don't have gestational diabetes this round. So yeah, I'm a new woman, and I can like work. After this book release, though, I'm done. It's a wrap. I'm gonna leave. I see you on the sleepless nights and the slow, perfect mornings. I see you on the days when you think, wait, I'm a mom? Are you sure I can do this? You can, and you are. You are doing it and doing it like only you can. And if you ever feel yourself slipping down a rabbit hole of comparison, which is what I do, while you're on Instagram, stop and come back to this page. Nobody has it all figured out. Nobody has the perfect life. A lot of people are cropping out the real shit and filtering it out. We're only at the beginning of this road, and there's so much more to come. I'm learning to live with the uncertainty and to find beauty in the in-between of it all. Whatever motherhood brings you, I hope that you know that you're worthy and capable, beautiful and strong. Your husband isn't lying to you, I promise. Because he would compliment me at my lowest lows, and I was like, you're lying. I wish you a strong support network and a partner willing to change your diaper, because he changed mine every day. I wish you a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. I wish you a magical skin-to-skin hour with your beautiful baby, because I didn't get that, but I hope I get that with this one. I wish you strong nipples and long naps and boobies overflowing with breast milk, because I had no milk in mine. You got this, mama. I'm right here with you. It's not always easy, and it's not always going to be cute, but it is always, always worth it. With love, your bestie, Meghan Trainor.
Wow, what an awesome book for her to put out. Thanks for going to see Meghan Trainor with us.